Hey, Matt.
Hey, I got some burning questions for you about the podcast.
Okay.
You're supposed to say something like, oh, well, that's totally convenient because
we totally have a cream for that.
It burns when I pee.
Oh my God. We've been hearing a lot of chatter. A lot of you guys have some questions that you want us to answer in another Q&A. We did one about 6 months ago, and it was a lot of fun. So we are going to be doing another Q&A on the Patreon. So what you can do, you can get us any questions that you have. Just send them to me, Paul, through the Discord. You can private message me, and then we will be answering those questions and putting them up on Patreon. So if you are a patron, you'll have access to that Q&A. And if you are not a patron, but you would like to hear what we have to say, then go check out our Patreon. We need all those questions in by July 18th. And so that will be the hard cutoff.
So if you have a question, DM the DM.
Just slide right into the DMs.
Oh.
But there's a hard cutoff.
Oh, Sabrina, the way you said that was super painful.
Welcome back to the 12-Sided Guys. We have Matt as Ebby.
Hi.
Scott as Pine.
Let me get it. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. What do you say again?
Jordan as Sabrina.
Hey there.
Bruce as Sabrina.
Huh?
And me, Paul, as the guy who dropped all of my note cards right before we started. So until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time. Nope, they're all out of order. It, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Maybe that's a little too much.
I love it.
Let's see. What do I normally say? Go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/12sidedguys if you want some bonus content and a little gift from us to you. Also, rate and review us and tell your friends to check us out. They won't be disappointed. In fact, they'll thank you. Speaking of thank you to one of our newest patrons, JJ the Mind Punk. JJ now has access to bonus episodes, including Q&As, our episodes where we go over level ups called They Grow Up So Fast, and more. So JJ, thanks for becoming a patron. When we finally get that Papa Murphy's pizza we've been craving for a year and a half now, I'll make sure to save you a slice. And
I'm so hungry.
Well, don't forget to come and see us at FanX in Salt Lake City, September 22nd to the 24th in 2022. Come and get to know us, and there may even be the possibility of doing your best Tedward the Spooniest Bard impression at karaoke afterwards.
Vote now for what songs you want to hear us sing in character.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I like this.
Also, don't forget to come check out our Discord. We're on there a lot talking about the episodes. There's lots of fans on there sharing their art, sharing some spoilers, sharing some theories. It's been a great time for everyone involved. Anyway, if you can remember a time when Zitz and a Rash teamed up to rescue a pimple, then this podcast is for you. It's the Crystal Codex, episode 70. In the city of Arkelvy, the sun has set, the moon is coming up. Our heroes, Nari and the Boys, are making their way from the gardens of Eberly Park to a street called Baker's Way for a very important meeting about a crystal. On their way to the southwest part of Arkelvy, Roos has a clandestine meeting in an alley with one of his former contacts from when he was in Howling Talon. Instructions are given, and a piece of paper is handed from Roos to this contact.
I need this letter passed around 3 cities: Arkelvy, Terran's Protectorate, and Wayfield. It's directed to the king, but I need the citizens to know of its contents first. Tenor will be the last one to read this, and it to barkeeps, priests, anyone who will listen. The letter reads as follows. To the imposter King Tenor. Your failed attempt to kill Queen Kira did not go unnoticed. Your adept use of the cult of inevitability to cover your plot was clever. It worked on Terran's protectorate, but not Tabery or Wayfield. Murdering a high marshal and then offering protection to the people? That takes balls. I hope they believe you and don't look into it at all. You did not bury the evidence very deep. I personally saved my sister's life from your assassins. Queen Kira has damning evidence of your conspiracy. You'll have to share the recipe for the Thu. That is potent magic. It's too bad that anyone you directed to take it died because of the unstable nature of the potion. Is that how you look at all of the citizens of Arkelvy? Expendable to further your vain ambitions? Anyone that fights for you, Tenor, is defending a tyrant and not a true citizen of Arkelvy. You will stand for your crimes eventually. May the lords and ladies forgive you of your murderous schemes. I doubt the innocent people of Arkelvy, Terran's Protectorate, Wayfield, or Tabery will ever forgive you. My name is Roose Bayard. I'm the rightful heir to the throne on which you sit. Keep the chair warm for me. It won't be yours for very long. The rightful heir, Roose Bayard.
Get wrecked!
Mike,
I
drop.
love it. Beautiful.
As that figure, that shadowy figure, melts away into the alley, Nari and the boys continue their way southwest until they come to Baker Way. Baker Way is part of the less prosperous part of the city of Arkelvy. Baker Way is actually kind of a step down, and there's actually you can see there's this staircase that kind of goes down about 10 feet down to Baker Way. And as you approach the staircase, you can see these buildings down here on this other part of the town are smaller, more run down. The streets are darker. Cobblestones are loose and missing. The streets are still lit. People are not around at this point in the night. It is fairly late at night, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And at this point, we have Nari, Roose, Pine, Ebby, and their companion, once again, Sir Bortimus, as they seek to find this crystal and liberate it from the thieves who took it from the crypt under Eberly Park.
So we're just like walking into a a crystal deal, and we're like robbing them both?
Not robbing. I mean, this is technically our property.
Oh, right.
So, more like vigilante-ing.
But I guess what we're saying is the plan is murder, death, kill.
Bortimus speaks up and he says, well, the disciples of danger, they did kill.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I
you
forgot
can laugh
that
all
was
you
the
want.
name.
The disciples of
danger. Disciples of danger.
So, a quick recap.
Disciples of danger!
The Disciples of Danger are kind of the local thieves group, right? The local gang. And they are in the process of trying to sell this to a larger international group called the Fractured Force. And so...
Lots of alliteration here.
When they tried to sell it to the enigmatic explorers, they failed, so they had to go to this other one.
The fractured force.
Okay, so anyway, Sir Bortimus is saying, let's not forget that the Disciples of Danger did kill the appraiser that I had come and look at the crystal.
I mean, honestly, taking out a group of dangerous, robbers, thieves, murderers, that's not the problem. I guess what I'm saying is the plan is 2 armed groups exchanging money and highly valuable merchandise, and we're gonna step in and say, huzzah, and attack them.
Or if we can get the crystal back some other way, I'm fine with that as well.
If we can set up in advance, maybe have a bird's eye view, or
There may be some way that we could. I could have Amarok potentially be some of our eyes and ears, and I could relay some of the information. We might be able to do some reconnaissance and maybe create some sort of a distraction.
Yeah, that sounds great. And Roose, can your imaginary friend help us out with communication?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'll ask him.
Capital.
You see Squire in pantaloons and big hat again, kind of shrug, kind of nod his head. Okay, I guess.
And he holds up one finger. You have 1 hour.
Ooh.
Nice roll.
Pine will actually pull out the bird skull mask that he wore at Gadiver's March, just kind of to disguise his face, and put that on. You really should invest in some disguises. Different names, different clothes, something, because I look like a total jackass here, be the only one with a new name and a new costume and everything.
Well, and who could possibly forget somebody as memorable here as Bartholomew? So it's going to be important that we consider maybe some aliases.
You guys are currently standing on the top of this platform in front of the staircase going down into Baker Way, into this kind of bad neighborhood. You guys are kind of, as the streets twist and turn, you guys are kind of standing on the west side, and the staircase goes down into this kind of depression, this kind of lower area, and you can see that there's this square, basically, this... if it were a different part of town, it'd probably be like a market, but there's this square of old buildings that are kind of built like one right on top of the other, to the north and to the south, and you can see that the road actually continues on further east into this warren of small, dilapidated houses.
Well, should we have Amarok maybe scout ahead and maybe tell us what's in some of these houses?
I was thinking, yes, that would be a good idea, but also maybe trying to hide someplace and wait for the exchange.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes.
Finding some sort of alcove for ourselves.
Or small desks.
Also, those work very well to hide people.
Roos, do you remember when we were on top of the roof during that whole incident with the hanging in Tabery?
I do. We had a good vantage of the whole scene below us.
Ooh, that could be fun.
I don't have a safe way to get us down this time.
Yeah, that's okay. We can take our chances.
Level 9, there's a lot more hit points, and 2d6 of falling damage is not nearly as deadly as it was back then.
I guess then I'll take a position on the street and be there in case somebody needs to move immediately. I'll try to take up a hidden spot and move wherever you need me.
Perhaps I could use some of what, some of the abilities that Lord Moshe imbued me with to disguise myself to appear like maybe a member of the local constabulary of Arkelvy or a soldier. Would that be beneficial, or would that maybe...
That might put them off. I think they would be alerted if they saw somebody from the
Do
constabulary.
you want to get stabbed?
In this sort of place, this does not seem like the proper attire.
Well, maybe I could look more shady or seedy or something that's a little bit more disreputable.
Bortimus, what do the disciples of danger look like?
What if I were to look like a hooker?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what if?
What if? Roos, your passive perception is like an 18, right?
It's 21.
And also Nari's is 20.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Nari and Roos, both of you. As you guys are talking, you guys are also both constantly scanning for danger.
Disciples of danger.
You're scanning for disciples of danger. You're also scanning for ways to kind of infiltrate, be sneaky, kind of places that you can get in and hide. Roos and Nari, you see movement across the way. I told you that the street continues on to the east and goes off more into the neighborhood. You see what looks like a form in a dark clothing sneak down that street, coming closer to you, and then duck into kind of an alleyway to the south. So came into this square and then kind of ducked in between two of the buildings here in this kind of area.
Roos is going to whisper, "Squire, I need you to hide my tracks." And then Roos is going to try and sneak closer to get a better look.
Amarok, go with him. Amarok is going to go invisible and tail Roos.
And Pine will say, Pine, go with him too. And Pine will also sneak. I'm pretty good at it.
So everyone gets a +10 to their roll for sneaking.
Oh, wow.
Pine got a 22.
Roos got a 26.
Do you want Amarok to roll stealth as well?
Sure. Yeah, Amrock is also going invisible.
Yeah. Yep.
So give Amrock advantage on this as well.
Okay.
And Bordemus rolled an 18.
Does the +10 apply to Amarok?
Yeah, anybody that I choose. I don't think it says a number of people. I mean, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure anybody can get it.
Cool. So
Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you.
sweet. So Amarok got a 27.
Nari got a 25 with that +10.
You rolled a 15 with 25 with disadvantage. That's amazing.
Roos, describe what happens when Squire covers your tracks.
So I imagine it's him like scrambling around us, like moving twigs and leaves and things, making sure that nobody steps in a puddle. You know, if somebody's just about to step in a puddle, he puts his hand over it so that they step on his hand instead. He's just like following us and doing everything he can to prevent us from making sounds.
He even has like a broom and he's like sweeping away your footprints as you're walking on.
Yes.
Like
yes.
an umpire at a baseball game.
I was thinking like a curler, but instead of leading the rock or the stone, he's actually behind you guys, just sweeping away all your footprints. Awesome.
Exactly.
So what is everybody going to do? It looks like there's this big wide open square straight ahead, and the figure moved it's still further away from you to the east and then to the south.
Does it look like there's enough like looping alleyways and things here that I could take an alternate path and meet up there? Or from my vantage point, is it all just a mess of streets and scaffolds and stuff?
It is hard to tell. You can tell that there are some buildings that have like platforms and scaffolding off the side. You can tell that there are some that are built with common walls. There's kind of this one building here in the square that's a little bit separated out from the other buildings. You might be able to get around behind that one. But then for the most part, it's pretty much an open area surrounded by these common wall buildings.
Okay.
But as you guys start to move, Bordemus is going to kind of follow along. Bordemus's plan is just to kind of head straight ahead and kind of tuck up next to one of these buildings. He knows that he's not going to be doing the recon. He's just going to try to get a little bit closer.
I think that's Pine's plan too. So Pine and Bordemus are kind of go in the same place.
Yeah, I think Nari would also kind of follow that exact sort of vibe, like just trying to hide and see what's going on.
Okay.
So Roos is going to go straight ahead to the corner of that building in the alley where he lost sight of the woman, and he's going to peek his head around that corner.
Okay. As you get up there, before you actually peek around the corner, you can hear voices. Okay. So Pine, it looks like you're kind of over there in that same area. But a little bit further back, you both can hear voices talking, but Roos, especially with your passive perception, as you get closer, you can actually make out what they're talking about. Before we get to that, Ebby, where are you going?
So Amarok is going to be his eyes and ears, but okay. Ebby has gone ahead and done the disguise self thing, and he looks uncannily like the priestess from Erdos's temple, but with just gobs of makeup and disheveled clothing, and is meandering around in the square over here.
Torn fishnets, big old thigh boots.
That's amazing.
So you look like her plus some extra accoutrement. You're not you're not dressed up like the priest, like in her robes and vestments and things like that. You just
not at all.
You stole her face.
He stole her face and appearance.
Oh my gosh.
And has her as like a lady of the night.
Okay. I'm gonna need you, Ebby, to make a performance check, actually. Or deception. With advantage.
Though, that's not what our ladies look like. Come on.
All right. I mean, it's all the same modifier, so we're going to give this a shot. 13.
13. Not bad. Ebby, we're going to get back to you.
I'll look like not a very convincing lady of the night, but...
Okay. Roos, you can actually hear what's going on. Amarok can see because he's invisible as he sneaks around the corner. So first off, Jordan, if you want to tell us what Amarok sees.
Yeah, so sneaking around the corner, it looks like there's a large well kind of in that central area. And it looks like there's a massive gem. And then there are probably 4 street tough, like kind of hooded individuals. And then there are what looks like some other characters on the southwest side of that square. And it looks like a hooded kind of
lizard folk person with some kind of accompanying individuals.
Yeah.
And then there's some kind of lady standing by the gym who has her face covered as well.
It looks like basically they're not wearing uniforms, but you can tell with like gang colors or whatever. These are two different groups, and they are meeting together, looking at this gem. It looks like the woman with the mask on is with the hooded individuals. The one of the hooded individuals you saw coming into the square, and then the kind of more street tough, like the tougher looking dudes, are accompanying the red scaled kind of lizard folk man.
Nice.
Roos, you, even though you're like 5 feet from the corner, you can hear talking back and forth, and you hear a female voice say, "It's worth more than that. It's 30,000. You said 15." And then you hear a voice say, "I said 15, but this is going to be harder to get out of town. 6 is as high as we can go." And the woman says, "Well, that's not acceptable. The deal is off." And the voice says, "The deal's off when I say it's off." And then you actually hear what sounds like the drawing of blades. Ebby, I had you make a deception or performance check, and you rolled a great 13 as you are kind of hobbling, wandering around this square. You hear a voice whisper, kind of a stage whisper at you, and it says, "You need to get out of here. It's not safe." And you can hear it is coming from where you're at in the square. It's coming from the building straight to the north of you.
Oh, Ebby will kind of move that way and respond. Who are you?
Ebby, I want you to make a perception check real quick.
Sure. Let's do that.
Or insight, whichever you prefer.
Let's do insight. Let's try it. Ugh, terrible roll. Rolled a 10 for insight.
As you approach this building, kind of, you hear the voice, you kind of start approaching this building, you hear authority in this voice. This building is old. It's got like some scaffolding, got some like boxes and crates kind of left out in front of it. It looks like it's unoccupied, and it's been unoccupied for a while, but the voice definitely sounded like somebody who's used to being listened to. That's as much as I can give you.
Ebby is going to respond and say, looking to have a good time then, eh, governor? And we'll speak just a little bit louder than normal.
So casual.
Okay. As you say that, the door cracks open, and you see a woman standing there. She is wearing a purple kind of jacket over armor, and the jacket is long, almost like a duster. And you can see that she has some like a cloak pulled up around her, but she steps out of the doorway just the tiniest little bit. She looks around, and she says, "You need to leave, lady."
Well, I guess I can if you's working this spot, eh?
Well, very good. Ebby. Okay, so here's where we're at. We have Pine and Roos are kind of in the middle of the square, but they're on the north side of this building, this old house that's kind of there in the middle. We have Bortimus and Nari are on the west side, kind of on the opposite side of this other building from where all of the commotion is going on with the crystal. We have Ebby, who is further north, talking with this woman who has just peeked out of this abandoned building. And we're just going to go ahead and roll initiative right now.
All right, well, Nari rolled a 12.
Roosh rolled a nat 20 for a 23.
Oh, thank goodness for your good rolls, guys. Ebby rolled a 9,
Pine also rolled a 23.
and
Ooh.
Amarok rolled an 11.
Bortimus got a 15. Good job, Bortimus.
Nice.
Woohoo! All right, and we are going to start initiative. Pine, Pine, you have an 18 dex. Roos, what's your dex?
It's only 16, so Pine would go first.
Pine, you are up. You are standing on the north side of this old abandoned building. You can kind of see and hear Ebby wandering around kind of further north of you, kind of back behind you a little bit as well. And you can see that Roos has been listening in at the corner. You've been hearing the voices, but you haven't been able to make out what they're saying. But you can see the tension in Roos, and you can hear the voice of Ebby doing his best. What is it? Eliza Doolittle? Is that her name?
Yep.
Impression? Very good.
So it has, and Ebby hasn't communicated anything telepathically through Squire.
Not yet.
No, I guess I thought maybe they'd be able to see since it's kind of in their line of sight.
I will say that you guys can look back and you can see this woman has stepped out of the out of this building, I think it's not too much to say. You guys recognize that the color purple that this woman is wearing, that's the royal color of the Kingdom of Arkelvy as well.
Okay. Through Squire to everybody, I'll say, "Stay hidden. There's a third party. It's the Fuzz." And I will draw my sword and prepare an attack if anything aggressive comes toward me. But as I draw my new Tabry Ambassador's Blade level 3, all silver and white and blue, I'll also say, "Frigid Aggression Stance."
All right. So you have rated in action. And Roos, what is your move? It's your turn.
Bruce is going to take a step to the corner to just get a better view of the situation and remain hidden. And if my prepared action would be if anyone comes towards an ally of mine with the intent to hurt them, I will strike out from the shadows.
Okay. As you get to the corner, I want you to make a perception check.
My second nat 20 in a row. This is going well for me. 31.
Whoa.
As you go up to the corner, before you even ready your action, you hear a tiny little. There's kind of this scaffolding off this building here on the corner, and you hear this little creak, and you look up, and you can see that somebody is standing above this little area where the people are on this scaffolding. And as you look up, you catch a hint of purple.
Okay. I'm gonna do something else then. Yeah, so I'm going to shout out and try and do my best, street rat sort of impression and say, "It looks like they're up in the rafters."
Ooh.
That sounded nothing like Aladdin.
I know, I was going to say, I don't buy that.
I was thinking like Remy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could have done any of those, but, I just wanted to draw attention for those in the courtyard that they're being watched.
Are you still going to ready the action in case somebody comes closer?
Yeah, but again, only if they have intent to hurt my people. But I want to shout out to point out that, or maybe I guess the action would be shout and then hide again.
Okay, perfect. Why don't you make your stealth check again with a +10? Basically, this is like you're shouting and you're trying to hide the fact where you were from. Like basically, you're trying to throw your voice.
Yeah. So I got a 34 on the stealth. So 24 plus 10.
That's awesome. Like one of the thugs kind of turns to the other one and says, "Dude, don't be so loud." And he's like, "What? No, that was you." Very good. You could be a ventriloquist. Okay. That is Roos's turn. That brings us now to the figure up in the rafters, up on this scaffolding. He stands up, and the only person who can see this probably is Roos. And you have kind of this weird view because you're looking kind of up at him, but he draws something from his back and points it down into this square where all of these hooligans are. And it looks like he's pointing a rifle down into this group. And he says, "Nobody move. That crystal is for King Tenor."
Dealing with the Fuzz.
That will now bring us to these cloaked figures. You see one of them draws a bow and points it up at this soldier who's aiming a rifle at them, and he's going to take 2 shots. But before he can even get a shot off, the figure with the rifle takes aim and blasts down into the courtyard. And we're going to take 2 shots. And that is going to be 2 hits. And that is going to be some big damage. Well, actually, that's going to be some pretty lousy damage. Let's see. Plus 1d10. Let's do that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. This first figure who goes to, this first thug who goes to shoot at that soldier is instantly taken down with 2 quick shots in succession from this guy's rifle. Boom, boom! And it cracks out. You guys can hear the sound echoing through this square. The others are going to now take shots at him as well with their bows. And they are going to take, there's going to be 3 shots because there are 3 of these thugs. It looks like one of them will hit. And that is going to be, a whopping 4 damage to this soldier. All right. These thugs with the cloaks on are going to kind of reconsolidate around the woman with the mask, kind of forming like a little bit of a guard around her. And they're saying, quick, grab the crystal, let's go. And that is going to now be Sir Bortimus's turn. Nari, where you are next to Sir Bortimus, you guys could not help but hear that big, loud crack of a gun going off. Sir Bortimus is going to draw his sword, and instead of doing any kind of attack, he's going to step out, kind of standing next to Pine, and he is going to call out to the rest of you, and he's going to say, "We've got this. Don't worry, I've got your back." And each of you can now, if you're within 30 feet of him, add a d4 to any attack roll or saving throw for the next minute.
Ooh, and that's nice. Did it have to be audible? He could have done that through Squire?
He is, okay, you heard it from Squire, I guess.
Okay, good.
He's still trying to figure out how this thing is working. He's like, I guess, yes, I've got your back. And you hear that in your mind.
Hey, is this thing on?
Hey, Squire, tell them I got their back.
Yes. I would like you to relay the following message. Okay. And that is now going to bring us to our next surprise. As you guys are standing there. Ebby, you're standing kind of more in the northwest corner, dressed as this Lady of the Night. You see the woman who stepped out looking at you, and then she kind of leans over next to one of these crates and she kicks it. And the crate starts to shake and move, and suddenly, standing next to her is a bishop.
Ooh.
A large, giant-sized, 10, 12 feet tall construct, an Ormec, roughly similar in shape to the deacons and to Ebby himself, but with extra long arms. There is like a cannon, a tube on its shoulder that you know from past experience can come up over the shoulder and can fire a mana blast with devastating force. This woman standing in this building has a bishop next to her. And Roos and Pine and Bortimus all looking further to the east down this road that leads back into further into this poorer part of town. You see another crate start to shake and stand up as a second bishop stands and is blocking the escape to the east.
Holy crap.
There are 2 bishops. The first bishop, the one up in the north by Ebby, is going to completely ignore Ebby and move 40 feet. Actually, he's going to move a total of 80 feet. Use 2 moves. And get down closer to Bortimus and Pine and Roos, and he's going to call out and say, "Nobody move." And then the other one that's in the street further to the east is going to step forward, aim its mana cannon in at the group, and is actually going to take a shot. That is going to hit, and that is going to be... Oh, God, yes. That is big damage. Okay, that is going to be 24 damage. Instantly, another one of these thugs, these guys in the cloaks, these disciples of
danger,
is basically vaporized from the mana blast.
Yikes.
Yes.
Did he leave behind one of his cool danger cloaks?
Wait, does Nari get hit, or is she kind of like hidden a little bit?
Did who get hurt? Oh, Nari?
Yeah.
Nobody has really paid attention to you.
Nice.
Okay. That is now going to bring us to the leader of the Disciples of Danger. She is going to draw her sword, grab onto the crystal, and try to haul it back as this lizard folk kind of puts a hand on the crystal as well to keep her from taking it. And she is going to strike at him 3 times. And she is going to hit him only 1 time. And that is going to deal some damage. All right. That is her turn. Nari, you are up. You have heard the crack of a rifle. You have seen a bishop come marching down into the square. And you've even heard the call of the bishops calling everyone to not move. What is Nari going to do?
Heck, honestly, I don't even know. I think Nari is going to try to go and engage this bishop and at the very least try to distract them. So she's going to move up towards them and she is going to just strike with her axe as like hard as she can, which is a 27 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. And so she is going to do 17 damage. Plus, she is going to use her Axe of the Adjudicator, which is a DC 13 saving throw.
DC 13 saving throw. It fails.
Okay. And then she is going to use her action to like go again and just try to get as much damage as she can against this guy. Ooh, so 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 13 damage. Anything else? I think that's it. I think that's it for now. That's what she's gonna do.
Real quick. Well, actually, we'll get to Ebby in a second. Amarok. What's Amarok gonna do?
Okay, so I think what we're gonna have Amarok do is fly up the building to where the guy is with the rifle, and I want to see just how many people are up there.
As he flies up there, you can see that there's only one figure. He is wearing a purple like duster. It's over armor, and he's got this very intricate, very elaborate rifle. It looks like a breech loader, so not like a musket where you have to ram a rod down it, but like actually it has a hinge, and you just pop it down, load up your bullet, then pop it back closed like a hinge action shotgun. And that is what he has. Although it looks very arcane-ish, it looks very elaborate and intricate, and with gold scroll work on it and things like that.
Got it. I'm going to have Amarok go up there and prepare an action to attack this guy if he trains a gun on one of our group.
All right. Nari, you have been attacking this bishop. You see, well, actually, Ebby, you see this woman here who is back here at this building over by you, the one who woke this bishop up. She actually pulls out a rifle as well, and she is going to take 2 shots at Nari. Ooh, gosh. So that's a natural 20 and then a 21.
Ooh.
Heck.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do for the first shot. That is going to be 2d8 plus 2d10 plus 4. That is going to be 28 damage from the crit.
Ooh.
Oof.
And the regular shot is going to be just another 9 damage.
That is big.
She's also going to call out, "There's more involved!" And it is now Ebby's turn. Ebby, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
How's Ebby doing? Seeing what's going on?
I know that Ebby was formulating a plan in his head, and then when the bishops awoke, everything got thrown out the window. So he is going to, upon seeing Nari subjugate that thing using the Axe of the Adjudicator, he immediately drops the facade. He is fully exposed as an Ormec, and he yells out, "Nari, don't kill him! and he's going to run forward and try to touch that bishop that is subjugated and see if he can't awaken it.
Okay. So
All right, I guess I will try to not kill him. I'm clearly doing so well.
You hit hard.
you did some good damage. 30 damage, I think, is what you did in your 2 hits. And you're gonna have advantage on all your attacks next round. So, Jordan, I sent you a document. We already talked about the rules for freeing Ormex.
Yeah.
Ebby has read the Crystal Codex, which gives him advantage on this save. So there is that. Ebby, as you reach out to touch this bishop, as has happened before with the deacons the Ormex that you've rescued in the past, it's almost like time stops for a second, and you can see the power coursing through this body, this massive body, but still a body. You can see it going like arteries or veins shooting around this figure, and you can see a small section in the chest of this bishop where it's like there's no power going there. There's like a little circuit breaker, and you can attempt to flip that switch.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, because you have read through these rules, I remember I told you last time, there is definitely some possibility of some bad things happening. Now you are fully aware of how bad things can go. So why don't you go ahead and make your wisdom save? You get to add a D4 because you are close to Ortimus.
Got it. And is it just a D20 or is it a wisdom?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
So you're good at those.
Yeah, I feel better about that. I was just about to just roll 20s without any modifier.
We got you, Abby. We're here for you.
And if I was within 10 feet, you'd have more.
Yeah, he's too far to get Pine's aura, but he is getting Bortimus's leadership, which is just a D4.
Okay, so...
And Nari's good vibes.
Perfect. So, and then I'll just roll the D4 as well, just to see. So with the advantage on the saving throw, and then Ebby has pretty good buff to his wisdom, and then I rolled the D4 for a +2. Ebby got a 29 on this.
So I'm looking at your rolls, and even your lower score is still enough to you can free an Ormec with no ill effects to Ebby.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ebby, as you reach out and you touch this bishop, this massive form, you feel that switch. You flick it, and all of a sudden the power that is coursing around the body floods into that little central section that you know is the crystalline matrix, that device that houses the consciousness of the being in this body. And you see the eyes of this bishop go out, and then come back on, green, similar to Ebby's.
If I can, I want to speak to that bishop before I close my turn. I imagine that's going to take up all of my actions, bonus actions, everything.
Yes, this is your turn.
In Allele, I want to say, Ebby very quickly in Allele says, Aloueth Thuith, and points towards the lady in the building on the north end of town. And what he said in Allele is, "Brother, we need you now. She is the one that is the danger. Fight." And hopefully we'll direct the Ormec to fight with us.
Alright, well, way to ruin my attack, but...
Well, we'll see what happens in 2 rounds when he gets back up from kneeling down. I love it. Okay, Ebby's turn is over, and there is now a freed bishop on the field. It is now these fractured forces. They are going to draw crossbows, and they are going to start shooting at anybody they can. So 2 of them are going to shoot at the leader of the Disciples of Danger, and 1 is going to hit, and that is going to be some big damage. No, it's not. 3 damage to her, and then we have 1 is going to shoot at the rifleman who shot down at you guys, and is going to miss, and the last one is going to shoot at the bishop that Ebby just freed with a critical hit. And that is going to be 14 damage to that bishop.
Oh no.
You have fought bishops before. You know that bishops have way more than 44 hit points total. Okay, that brings us now to the leader of the Fractured Force. He is going to strike back at the leader of the Disciples of Danger. I have a hard time saying that. I always forget what it's called because it's so lame. He's going to pull out a longsword and he is going to make 3 attacks against her. And that is going to be 1 hit for... Oh my gosh, these guys are so lame. That's going to be 5 damage to her. So she has now taken a total of 8 damage. And that is going to do it for this first round of combat. We are back up to the top with Pine.
All right, well, my turn wasted last time.
Sometimes rolling high on your initiative is not ideal when not everything is on the field.
First question about the environment around me. I know that there's somebody up on a scaffolding just because I've heard the gunshots. Like, I figure I'm aware of kind of there is somebody higher up. Is there any obvious way for me to get up to that scaffolding now from where I'm at?
I'll just let you know, if you went around the corner, you could climb the scaffolding very easily, like a ladder. It's rough, it's slapped together. It wouldn't be hard to get up there. And with the amount of movement that you have, you could definitely get up next to this guy, no problem.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, you couldn't, because there's not enough room to stand up there with him. You'd have to kind of like try to force him off or something, push him down.
Oh, so he's like safe up there?
It's like a 5 foot by 5 foot square, and he controls that whole square.
Oh. Well, I'm not very good at like pushing attacks and stuff. So what Pine will do instead, Pine will kind of take a commander's approach to this now. It's kind of getting a feel for where things are currently. And he will say, Vortimus, get to the top of the scaffolding. Take out the marksman. Nari, go after the leader in the north. Roos, get that crystal. And Ebby, you're with me. And then what Pine will actually do is head over to this other Ormec and kind of stand right next to it. And I'm there to kind of distract it from shooting on my friends, and also to help Ebby with the wisdom save when he comes to touch this other one.
Okay.
And then, so for my action then, I'm actually going to, at the Ormec, I am going to say, trouble this battleground no more, and do my paralyzing shout.
Okay.
So it's a DC 15 wisdom save, or this Ormec is paralyzed.
This Ormec, this bishop, actually rolled a natural 20. So it doesn't seem to work.
All right, well, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Roos, you are up. It looks like to the north you have Nari and Ebby and this bishop, and further north you have this woman who was controlling that bishop. And then to the south you have a cluster of random wieners.
As one does.
Normal
right.
Tuesday night, you know?
That's right. So how is the scaffold put together? Is there a way where I could try and slash at it to make it fall down?
Yeah, I'd say you can. Yeah, sure thing.
Okay. Would my chakram be able to cut through it, or?
I would say sure, if you can deal enough damage. We'll say if you can deal 15 damage to the post, that you can do it. I would say I wouldn't give you a sneak attack though.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be able to do 15 even in 2 hits because I won't get sneak attack. So
Just glare at it really hard.
yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to step. Oh, there's a lot of people. I'm going to step around the corner.
There's a
lot more than I thought.
There's a lot of wieners down there.
There are way more wieners than I expected.
It's like a barbecue or something.
Yeah,
Most of them have like 14 hit points or like 20 hit points. They're all just
Okay.
a bunch of little scrubs.
Roos is going to throw his chakram up at the guy above him.
Okay. And you were hiding, so you would get sneak attack.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was. So would that give me advantage too, or not?
Yeah, that's advantage.
So with advantage, I got a crit.
Oh my gosh.
So that did. Oh, I don't know if this.
You've had 3 crits tonight, haven't you?
Seriously.
I know this is kind of wild. So this does 9 psychic. So then 7 more for the crit, and then for the sneak attack, 14 damage. So 30 damage.
Very nice.
Then I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull Gigi out and say, "Go get him, Gigi!" And I'm gonna toss her up in the air above me.
Okay.
And she's going to go and just start licking at him with her tongue.
Ferocious. I love it.
It's only a 16 to hit, so probably misses.
The 16 to hit, that might hit. That will barely hit. Yes.
Oh, hey, cool.
What attack is this?
It's it's spectral weapon, or it's spiritual weapon.
Oh, spiritual weapon. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
So
It's Gigi's bright blue tongue.
Gigi's bright blue tongue, and she hit him for 8 force damage.
Holy cow. I freaking love that.
And so now she's kind of like flying circles around him.
Nice.
Got him right in the eyeball with it.
Oh yeah, she just licked him right in the eye.
Pine, as you're standing next to this other bishop, you can see as Roos is attacking this marksman, you see dents and cuts start to form on the bishop standing next to you. There is some link that is siphoning damage from the marksman onto this bishop.
Oh, boo.
Okay. And that now brings us to the marksman. And this marksman who's standing up here on the scaffolding, you hear him say, "All right then, plan B." And you see, anyone who's watching sees him reach into his pouch, pull out a little tiny red crystal, little evocation crystal. He gives it a little kiss, and he flicks it up in the air, pops open the breech, catches it in the gun, snaps it shut, super anime style, flips the gun around, and a deafening roar down into the courtyard where all of these figures are, and they all need to make dexterity saves, or else they are going to take some serious damage. They all take 26 damage as a fireball from that gun explodes. There is no save good enough for these little wiener thugs. The 2 remaining of the Disciples of Danger, of the wiener guys, they both die. I gotta stop saying wieners. I'm
No
sorry.
wiener, guys. He says wiener so much.
Does anybody want some roasted wiener?
As long as it's on a bun.
Would you like a wiener in the mouth? Oh, sorry. Oh, banger in the mouth. Wiener in the mouth.
Yeah, banger in the mouth.
Banger in the mouth, yes. All right. Oh man, that was big damage. Oh, everybody is reeling from that shot. The fractured forest guys are all in bad shape as well. All right, that is now going to bring us to. Well, actually, we're going to skip that guy. It's Bortimus's turn. Bortimus is going to rush down past Roos, climb the scaffolding, and attempt to grapple this rifleman. So we're going to do 2 contested. Bortimus goes to grab the guy, and this rifleman is very, very dexterous and manages to actually kick Bortimus kind of in the head before he can even climb up. Both of them miss. The marksman is able to keep Bortimus at bay. Bortimus is now down kind of more in the center of the square, down at the bottom of the scaffolding, trying to get up to this rifleman. That brings us to the bishops. Nari and Ebby, this bishop that you have just released, you see him turn his gaze towards the woman marksman up in the north, and as you see him clench his fist in rage and point with the other one, he's about to say something, and then he kneels down and bows his head.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, bud.
He was not a friendly until just now.
Yeah.
And don't worry, now it's the other bishop's turn. Pine, you're standing in front of this bishop. He is going to take 2 swipes at you.
Good. Bring it on.
Let's see. 2 swipes. We've got a +7 to each of these rolls. That's going to be a natural 1, but then a 24. So he will hit you with 1 swipe,
Okay.
and you're going to take 13 damage.
Okay.
And that is his turn. That brings us now to the leader of the Disciples of Death. Sorry. That brings us now to the leaders of the Disciples of Danger. Disciples of Death would be a lot cooler, but I'm pretty sure it's copywritten already by somebody else. And these guys are kind of wieners. There's nothing really deadly about them.
Hey, can you stop saying wiener?
They're obviously
These are
such
clearly
wieners.
sausages. These guys are a bunch of sausages, and
She is going to gaze around, see all of her associates are dead, and she is going to glare across at this lizard folk man, and she is going to actually take a bonus action to disengage, 5, 10, 15, and she's going to move past the bishop into the street, heading further east into the neighborhood and disappear. And the Disciples of Danger are no longer a part of this fight.
Boo, but we know they're going to be a fan favorite, right? People are going to cosplay as Disciples of Danger.
The wieners of danger.
All right, that brings us to Nari. Nari, it is your turn.
Nari is going to follow Pine's instructions, and she is going to run up towards this person in the north.
Okay, can she move far enough to still get an attack, or was it too far?
Yeah, that's 30 feet. Yeah, no, that's literally exactly it. And so she is going to slash for a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
So that's an 11 damage. And then she is going to use her Axe of the Adjudicator again and try to get this person to grovel. So they got to make a 13 wisdom save.
Okay. She actually makes the save.
Okay. So again, for a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
And that is 10 damage. And she is again going to make her, like, the last Axe of the Adjudicator. She's going to try to get her to grovel.
Oh, a natural 20. That's my second natural 20 for a save.
Nice.
It is. It does not work. She feels it, like trying to take hold, but she manages to shake it off. Ebby, as you are standing next to this bishop that has been freed, that is now kneeling, you see dents and dings start to open up on its carapace as Nari deals blows to the marksman to the north.
All right, so Nari is going to use her action surge, and she is going to just hit again at this person. Like, I kind of feel bad, but
Okay.
they've got to go. So 20 to hit
Okay, that'll hit. Yeah.
for 15 damage, and then again for a 23 to hit,
Man, solid rolls.
16 damage.
16 damage.
Nice. That's huge.
That is huge. Yes, and Ebby, as you are watching this bishop just ding and dent and everything, you see that he has now reached half hit points.
yikes. Okay.
Amarok's turn.
Okay. Seeing that this guy, the guy on the scaffolding, the rifle guy, has kicked Bortimus in the head, Amarok's going to go ahead and make an attack on him, a bite attack,
Okay.
which will do a 9 to hit. So I'm guessing nothing. Okay.
AC 16 on these guys.
A question. He was invisible. Does that mean he gets an advantage on
I
this?
believe so, yes. I believe so.
Okay, we'll try one more time. Another 9. Doesn't matter. He will never ever.
At least he's consistent.
Yeah, solid
Nice.
as a rock.
Nice. All right. That will leave us now to this markswoman who has been attacked repeatedly by Nari. She's going to step aside of Nari. So, Nari, you can take your opportunity attack.
So it was a 22 to hit, and then it was a 16 damage.
All right. She is going to turn around. She's going to blast. You see her do something similar to what the marksman down below did. She pulls out a little clear crystal, flicks it in the air, catches it in her rifle, spins it around, takes aim at Nari, and Nari, make a Constitution save. Difficulty 14.
Damn, Paul. Stop making these guys so cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My Constitution save was 13.
Does she get the 1d4 from Bortimus?
She's not within range. I have the the aura up, and she is definitely out of range.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Nari, you take 17 damage, and you are pushed 15 feet backwards as you feel this force just throw you backwards. 5, 10, 15.
Heck.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, that is where we are at now after her turn. And she shouts out to the marksman to the south. She says, "We have to finish this now!" Ebby, it is your turn.
Okay. Ebby has been pretty focused on the Ormec and like seeing this Ormec and all these dents and things just kind of materialize seemingly out of nowhere. He's kind of like, no. And he's going to actually cast Dispel Magic on the Ormec to see if he can break whatever it is, the linkage there. Is that cool with you, Paul?
That is fantastic. I'm going to say, what level are you casting it at?
It's a 3rd level spell, so
Yes, but you can upcast it. If you want to cast it at 4th level, then it will get rid of any 4th level spell. Otherwise, you still have to roll if it's higher than that. I'm not telling you if it's higher or not. I just want to know what you're going to cast it at.
yeah, I don't have any 4th level slots, so
Okay. 3rd level. Okay.
So we'll do it with 3rd level.
I'm going to need you to make a roll, and it's going to need to be difficulty 14.
Okay. And I do it not with the spell attack modifier, but with just my normal spell modifier, right?
How does that work again, Dispel Magic?
Make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
Yes, so it would be, with this spell, Dispel Magic, is it a druid spell or is it a warlock spell?
It's a druid.
Okay, then you can use your wisdom.
Got it. Okay.
Your wisdom modifier. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and please be decent.
Difficulty 14.
12.
Oh, but do you get to
plus,
add the
plus a
D4?
D4. Plus a, no, it's not. It's not a save. Never mind. I was gonna say you're within Bortimus's range, so you cannot break the link.
Okay. So Ebby's gonna say, crap. And then he's just gonna bolt over towards the other.
Is that what Ebby said, though, was, oh crap?
Oh, most
I'm pretty
definitely.
sure he said bull honky.
Bull honky. And then he's gonna run over to this other Ormec. I don't know that I have enough action left in my turn to be able to try and do the disconnection to try to awaken him, but
Here's what I'll say. I'm gonna be cool with this. I'll say you can attempt it without the advantage.
okay, I'll do that. I mean, with Pine
You
here,
will. Okay. Woo!
yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, you get to add 4 because I'm there.
Okay,
You get to add 4 from Pine. You also get to add a D4 because you got Bortimus.
perfect. Okay, 19 plus 4 is 23, and then a D4
Yep.
for 25. Right on the money.
Jeez, you barely made it. Okay, so I'm just gonna let our listeners in. The difficulty 25 is no effects. 20 to 24 is it works, but Ebby takes a level of exhaustion, and then as it goes down, there is more exhaustion, and then actually there's some even worse things that can happen. Okay, Ebby. You reach out. Again, same deal. I won't have to describe the whole thing again. You flip that switch. Power courses through the body of this bishop, and you can see the eyes power down and power back on. Green. And it looks around at its surroundings, and you see the tube on its back come up and over and start looking for targets. All right. It now is the Fractured Force's turn. The leader of the Fractured Force directs his minions to grab the crystal. Let's get out of here. And they all run up, grab the crystal, and they start carrying it away.
Oh, hell no.
They manage to get the crystal into kind of this alley behind this building, and you can see that they are all four carrying it. And because they're all working on it together, they will get to move their normal movement as they carry it, but they cannot take actions, and they are trying to run. Back up to the top of the round, we have Pine. Pine, you're standing next to another freed bishop.
Okay.
as you see the crystal, this giant red crystal, is being dragged out of the market square back behind a building into an alleyway. And what I'll tell you guys is if they manage to get the crystal off this map that I have made, it is gone.
Okay, well, Pine...
Well, that's obviously not going to happen. We're going to take care of this.
Pine actually has enough movement to get up and engage with a bunch of them.
They are all hurting real bad.
Yes, so Pine will go ahead. This is where my rolls are just going to be typical Pine. So for my first attack, I'm going to go ahead and use my my new sword for the first time against one of these not quite as weenie wieners.
Not quite as weenie wieners, but they are definitely bloodied.
Okay, all right. So the first one's a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that is garbage. I rolled a 2 and a 1 for my damage, so 9 damage. And I will say, Unleash with Precision Swordmaster's Fury, and use a level 1 spell. Add another extra, 2 more quick swipes with the sword. That's another more garbage, 6 more damage.
And you strike this fractured force member down. One of the ones carrying this crystal is now dead.
And I will say, can I say non-lethal?
You can say non-lethal.
Okay. Then my second attack will be to another one of these not as weenie wieners. Wieners. That's a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
For 14, so 9 piercing damage and 5 cold damage.
And he drops non-lethal as well?
Yep.
Okay. Suddenly, the leader of Fractured Force and one of these other wieners is left to carry this crystal by themselves. They feel the weight of it as these two allies have dropped unconscious.
And because I don't have any more movement and I'm out of attacks, I'm going to say, Field Marshal, sir, I ask your aid. And I'm going to chuck Koenig's Estok right in front of the leader of the Fractured Forces.
Fractured Force.
Frenzied foes. And that's a 20 to hit on the leader.
That will hit.
5 force damage.
Okay. He definitely looks in better shape than his minions do. But yeah, great round, Pine.
That's my turn.
Roos, it is your turn. You are standing at the bottom of the scaffolding where this marksman has been. You saw him just do a blast of fireball and vaporize the disciples of danger.
Yeah. So I am going to bonus action hide in these shadows here.
Okay.
But then creep to the opposite side of the building.
Okay.
Ready to cut off the guys that are fleeing with the gem.
Fantastic. Awesome.
And so for the stealth on this one, oh my goodness, I have never rolled so many nat 20s in a session before.
Another nat 20?
Oh, jeez. You are in your element, sir.
This so
living your best life.
With the plus 10, it was a 41 stealth.
Oh my gosh, a 41 stealth.
I am the knight.
Yes.
So my ready to action, if they come within range of me to throw my chakram at them, I'm going to throw at the guys with the stone.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. That's going to bring us now to the marksman. The marksman is going to look around and see that things are not working how he thought they would. He pulls out a crystal. Which crystal is he going to use this time? Ooh. Ebby, I am going to need you to make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
Difficulty 14. Bortimus has to do one too.
Okay.
And Bortimus fails.
Oh, Ebby got a nat 20 for a 22. That never happens to Ebby when a dex save is required.
Oh, clutch.
30 lightning damage as a bolt of lightning comes blasting out. You hear the thunder crack, and the lightning bolt comes shooting out of his rifle, blasting Bortimus, Ebby, and the bishop. Bortimus is going to take all 30 of that. The bishop, I'm fairly certain, is also going to take all of it. Oh, actually, no. The bishop rolled a 16, which means he got a 15. He is only going to take half. And Ebby's going to take half. Fantastic.
Cool.
And that'll bring us now to Sir Bortimus. Sir Bortimus is going to take 2 more attempts to knock this guy down. We're going to do opposed rolls, and that's going to be a failure for Bortimus. And the second one, finally, Bortimus manages to get up, grapple with the rifleman, and throw him off the scaffolding. And now Bortimus is standing up on top of the scaffolding. The rifleman falls 10 feet, is going to take some bludgeoning damage, actually quite a bit, 5 bludgeoning damage, and hits the ground prone. That will bring us to the bishops. Nari, the bishop that you had been hitting, and that has been taking damage from you attacking the riflewoman, he gets up from kneeling, turns to look at this woman to the north, and steps up to her and is going to take 2 attacks. With the first attack, the bishop reaches up over its shoulder, not where the tube is, but where there's this small little box that you guys had not necessarily noticed or knew was even a thing, and he's going to attempt to rip it off. And as he starts to pull, he cannot get it off, and so with his other hand, he clobbers this woman. He is going to try to hit her with a 19. That is going to hit, and she is going to take 18 damage, of which she takes 9, and he himself will take 9 as well. And this other bishop, seeing the marksman fall and take some damage, he had his mana cannon aiming around looking for a target. Instead, he clomps over and he is going to smash. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to try to pull the box off of his back first off, and he cannot get a grip of it either. And then he's going to take a swing at the marksman on the ground with advantage because the marksman is prone, and that's going to be a 12, which is not enough to hit the marksman. He manages to roll out of the way, and that is the bishop's turn. Nari, you are up.
Okay, I think Nari is actually going to try to run down to this alleyway to try to secure that crystal. That's only her movement, so she would ready in action for the first creature that tried to come towards her.
Very cool. All right, Amarok's turn.
Cool. Amarok is going to fly down, kind of dart down to the ground level where this guy is. He is still prone, right?
Yep, he's still prone.
The rifle guy, that is. And he'll go ahead and make another bite attack. With advantage. Ooh, first roll was a 17. Let's see if we get a critical. Nope. So a 17 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
Cool. So that will do 7 bite damage. And he needs to make a DC 11 Constitution save.
Natural 1. How much
Oh.
poison damage?
Nice.
For 10 more poison damage.
And the bishop standing next to him takes 5 of that as he takes 5.
Okay, cool.
All right. Your new allies are not taking damage from being hit, but they are taking damage from you guys fighting their charges. The woman who has lost control of her bishop, she is going to scramble away from the bishop, and she is actually going to turn her rifle on the bishop. She pulls out a red crystal and slaps it in her rifle and takes a shot at the bishop, who then needs to make a dexterity save, and he gets an 8, failing this dexterity save, and is going to take some serious fire damage.
But so should she, right?
She shoots it past him. So buildings are catching on fire as well. This is like bad
No,
news.
I mean because of their shared link.
No, it doesn't work that way. It only goes one way.
Oh, that's
It only goes one way. 36 fire damage to this bishop. This bishop is looking very, very rough. And then she is going to... Oh, and did the bishop take an attack on her as she scrambled away?
No, I don't think an opportunity attack.
Well, he is going to take an attack on her anyway, and that is going to hit and deal... not too bad. Just it's going to be 13 damage total, so she's going to take 7, he's going to take 6. which brings this bishop to very close to failure.
Oh my gosh.
Ebby, it is your turn.
Okay.
You see this bishop that you first freed is sparking and dented and is falling to pieces before your eyes.
Okay. So Ebby is going to rush up there and kind of still frantic is like, no. And he's going to rush up and do Erdos's touch at a 3rd level on this guy.
Okay.
And we'll heal him for 19 healing.
Oh, wow. Very good.
And then we'll use his bonus action to use his Verdant Light skill from Lord Moshe to heal an additional d6 for 4 more healing as well.
Great. Okay. You see dents start to pop out. You see wires and a conduit that, underneath the plates kind of start to reconnect. Yeah, very good. Still rough. Very, very rough. Is there anything else that Ebby is going to do? Or is that it?
No, that's all he can do. He's kind of in like frantic trying to keep these guys alive and safe mode right now.
Well, it is now the Fractured Force's turn. So what's going to happen is these Fractured Force guys are going to move again 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The leader and his 2 remaining minions grab this crystal and they start huffing it.
They start huffing it, huh?
they put it in a bag and they start getting high off this crystal. No, they start hoofing it again, and they're going to take their full move, and then they're going to use their actions to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get up to the staircase.
One of them did have to pass through my threat range, so I would have an opportunity to attack.
Go ahead and make your attack.
Come on.
Also, I think Nari had a prepared action to attack if they got
So did Roos.
close to her too.
Yep, as long as they came within in range, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, so far I did 16, so 10 piercing, 6 cold damage on the one that went through my area.
Okay. That means, was this guy dead or was he knocked out?
He's knocked out.
Okay.
I'm just piling up a bunch of unconscious, frenzied fanatics.
There
Yes.
you go. All right, so that means that you took out one, and then the leader and one more of his minion are still carrying this crystal. They still are able to get it moving at normal speed because they're working together. As they come into Roos's threat range with his Bayard family chakram.
So coming out of the shadows, I would have had an advantage, but I didn't crit on that one. So 26 to hit
Okay, that will hit.
for 9 damage.
Who are you going after, the leader or the wiener?
I'll go after the leader.
Okay.
So 9 damage and then 6 precision, so 15 damage to him.
Okay. He is still standing. They both now get in. Actually, as they move through, only the wiener is in the threat range of Nari. So Nari, you can make your attack on the last minion.
All right, well, Nari rolled a 26 to hit, and then, oh my gosh, rolled a 12 damage.
Are you swinging to kill or are you swinging to knock out as well?
Oh, to kill.
Okay, boom. This guy drops. Suddenly, the leader of Fractured Force is carrying this crystal by himself. Here's the deal, though. He is close enough to the edge of the map that he can still get this crystal away by himself on his next turn. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the initiative. And Pine, we will get to your turn next time.
Ooh.
All right, guys, this has been a crazy fight trying to get this 30,000 gold piece crystal back from the losers who stole it from you. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening as you have 2 freed bishops who are taking a beating and these rifle users who are dealing some serious damage with their magical ammunition.
The wieners that stole it from us.
I think the wieners are pretty much all dead. The only one who's still around is a little less of a wiener, the leader of the Fractured Force. And I think, in all honesty, at this point, the bishops are the bigger concern. At least I would think they were.
Not a wiener, more of bratwurst.
Sausage.
There you
This
go.
is sausages.
Wait, what?
Well, anyway, if you like what we're doing, go check us out on Patreon. You can join our Discord. The link is in the description of this episode. You can tell your family and friends about us. We really love what we're doing, and we're really glad that there are so many people out there who are really liking it as well. We hope to keep putting out more and more content for you. And until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time.